अद्भुत क्षण था, मतलब कि मतलब जो है बच्चा इतनी दूर से मतलब ऐसे मिशन से वापस हो रहा है और उसकी लैंडिंग भी अलग है जो कि मतलब हमारे सोच से परे है। और उसकी जो है सफल वापसी देखकर हम लोग कितने भाव विभोर हो गए, ये तो हमें पता है कि मतलब हम लोगों को कितनी खुशी हुई, ये अंदाज नहीं लगता।
अच्छा, आपसे पूछना चाहूंगी, अगर वो यहाँ होते तो आप क्या करते, क्या बोलते उनको पहली बात?
अरे उसको गले लगाते, उसको आशीर्वाद देते और उसको बच्चे को जो है बहुत बहुत मतलब जो है इतनी बधाइयाँ देते कि मतलब शायद ही अब बाप जितना दे सकता है उस सबसे ज़्यादा, उससे भी ज़्यादा हम कोशिश करते कि उसको देते।
जी, आपका शुक्रिया करना चाहूँगी इंडिया टुडे से बात करने के लिए शंभू जी। बट आपके जाने से पहले एक और सवाल पूछूंगी। शुभांशु शुक्ला आज 140 बिलियन इंडियंस के लिए एक इतनी बड़ी इंस्पिरेशन बने हैं, कैसा लगता है आपको?
नहीं तो वो तो इस लायक हो ही गया, बेटा जो है इस लायक है कि मतलब उसको जो है सभी मतलब आदर्श मानते हैं कि मतलब जो है इस तरह उसने मेहनत की, इस तरह जो है उसने जो है अपने मिशन को पूरा किया है। ये उसके लिए बहुत बड़ी अचीवमेंट है और हमारे लिए तो बहुत ही सपना है कि मतलब उसने ये कैसे कर दिया, कैसे क्या किया। ये तो ईश्वर की कृपा है और उसका ईश्वर की आशीर्वाद है कि उसका मिशन पूरा हुआ अच्छी तरह। ये हमारे लिए बहुत ही सुकून देने वाला, दिल को बहुत ही मतलब जो है इतनी मतलब खुशी प्राप्त हुई है कि शायद ही हम उसको शब्दों में बयान कर सकें।
All right, that is the proud father of Shubhanshu Shukla, Shambhu Shukla, in conversation with India Today. Thank you so much for speaking to us. A very overwhelming moment that it has been for the entire family. Shubhanshu's mother was in tears even when Shubhanshu was taking off, and now that her son has safely landed, coming out all smiles out of the Dragon capsule, proudly with the Indian flag on his sleeve. And there you hear the cheers, the cake cutting ceremony, and all of that is happening on the ground as everyone is elated. Shubhanshu Shukla is back. He is safe. He is sound. It is on the 17th that he is set to be in Delhi. He will also be meeting with all the ISRO officials. And this has been a very important mission. ISRO that invested 500 crores to get a seat for Shubhanshu Shukla, because this also prepares us for the Gaganyaan mission that India is set out to achieve. There you see on the left of your screens that historical moment of Shubhanshu Shukla, Shuks as he is famously known, and how his crew addresses him, who came out of the Dragon capsule, was brought out safely after all the checks were performed. And there he came out all smiles on the right, of course, in Lucknow, where celebrations have been on in full swing. His family, his friends, all those who've known him, especially this happening at the school that he studied, as 140 crore Indians harbor that feeling and feel that sense of pride for Shubhanshu Shukla, who has scripted history.
Well, good evening to all of you, and I'm joining you now, Suesha. I'm Anjali Istwal, and let me tell you, Suesha, I was in the newsroom when this landing happened, this splashdown, and the moments over there, everybody erupted in cheer, and we could see the delight on everyone's face. And similarly, now you can see on your screens how the family of Shubhanshu Shukla reacted to the moment when they splashed down. And when he came out, there you see him. Of course, a proud moment, as Suesha was telling you, a proud moment for those who have been following his journey, for people like us, for common people, Indians who think that India's space program will now grow by leaps and bounds. Prime Minister also made a tweet, Suesha. He expressed his happiness. He encouraged Shubhanshu, and he mentioned that this is going to be a huge leap for Gaganyaan.
Oh yes, absolutely. And Anjali, you would remember that interaction that had taken place between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Shubhanshu Shukla while he was in space. Narendra Modi, Prime Minister, asking him how India looks from the International Space Station. And there he said that it is bigger than anything that I can see. Also, the very special message that Shubhanshu Shukla put out as he described his experience as magical, where he said that if all of humanity is set out to achieve that one goal, there is nothing that we can't achieve. So, Anjali, Shubhanshu Shukla is back on Earth, and the entire Axiom 4 crew of the very many takeaways of the research that has been performed as a part of those 60 experiments. 14 days is the time that they were to spend on the International Space Station, and it got extended to 18 days. But now they are back safe and sound. Of course, the splashdown that happened at 2:30 a.m. their time, and it was pitch dark, so while we were hoping to see it better, but of course there was only that the lights could make us see, and all of them safe and sound, all of the checks that were performed, after which they have been brought out.
Absolutely. And now Shuchi Shukla, who is Shubhanshu's sister, joins us. And we've been speaking to her again and again, and she's a proud sister, I must say. Thank you, Shuchi, for speaking with us. Firstly, how was that moment when you saw Group Captain Shubhanshu Shukla, your younger brother, coming down? What was the moment like for you?
Thrilling, thrilling, thrilling. There is no other word than this. Highly excited, highly happy. I don't know how to control my emotions right now. I'm highly, highly, highly proud right now. And this is the moment we were waiting for it. He has made the history now. We were writing that he is writing the history. He has made the history right now. And so happy. My eyes, I cannot just unvisit that. I cannot remove my eyes from the screen still, because he has to come out of the coop. But what to say? So happy, so happy.
Shuchi, we totally feel every emotion and we understand why you're out of words. In fact, your mother and your father have been so emotional. Your mother, all of India was watching her. She was all tears, praying for her son. She continued to do that till the very second that she saw her son emerge out. How has it been for the entire family?
Yes, of course, it's an emotional moment also. Though we were not thinking to cry, but we are Indians. We cry in all the moments, so in that happy moment also we were crying.
But Shuchi, this is a moment that everybody is sharing with you. You know, of course, the entire country, everyone, but there are people around you also who are sharing this moment, and they could really express it when they were waving those Indian flags. So how was it, that moment for you?
The goosebumps were there, and of course we cannot remove out that Indianness from our side. Anyways, wherever we are, whenever this kind of movement is going to be happen, our Indianness certainly comes out, and we were feeling very happy about it.
And Shuchi, Shubhanshu has become an inspiration for everyone now. Every Indian, your brother has achieved this historic feat. What do you want to say to him?
That was the broader picture actually, and that was the motive. Ultimate motive is that only, that not many people should get the motivation from that, and especially the upcoming generation. So if they are getting the motivation, that is the best achievement I can say.
And in conversation with India Today, Shubhanshu Shukla's sister Anjali, and what a moment it has been for the entire family, especially watching his mother from the studios where we have been covering this mission, where, she was in tears even when he was taking off, and even today, till the last moment, she was praying for the safety of her son. I believe Samarth is also joining us from Lucknow. Anjali, let's quickly bring him in. Samarth, the cheers, the excitement, the celebratory pictures, and most importantly, the satisfaction that Shubhanshu Shukla has arrived safe and sound.
Well, exactly. That most satisfying moment for the family, and also have been joined by Ashish Gupta, one of the brothers of Shubhanshu Shukla. Ashish ji, warm welcome to you on India Today TV. What are your first comments after this touchdown? And we saw how Shubhanshu came out from the plane. What are your first thoughts? First to your channel, I would like to congratulate you, all the viewers of your esteemed channel, and 130 crore viewers on the Indians that Shubhanshu has done, bring his morals to his nation, and we were very,
to his nation. And we were very, excited to see him when he was getting out of the capsule. And now we are worried about his well-being. And this is full of, exciting day from last 24 hours, because when he, undocked from that space station, we didn't got any update side, because when he was going
Okay, Samarth, I'm really sorry. We'll have to stop you there. We'll try to connect with you again because right now the transmission we are getting from you is a little interrupted. But we will try and get Samarth back and try and speak to the people who were present over there with the family, who were there witnessing that occasion with the family, one in the same emotion with them. But on your screens right now, you see the moment when Shubhanshu Shukla came out. And with him were the emotions of crores of people, Indians, who have been watching his journey, who have been tracking his every move, his lives, his messages that he's been sending, everything, because this is an important moment for India. This is the first time an Indian went to the International Space Station.
Our second crew member exiting the spacecraft, and some big smiles.
Now let's listen what the Union Minister and the Minister of Science, Jitendra Singh, said about this occasion.
Sir, how big is this and how beneficial it will be for the country?
No, I think first of all, the kind of media excitement we see over here, the media hogging we see, I'm absolutely delighted. So some of you guys, the media friends, may be feeling irritated by the kind of what is being witnessed, but I feel personally very much delighted that there's so much of excitement even in the media. So for the first time, space has given us space in media also. And this is all due to the space accomplishments of the recent few years, that we owe a lot to the enabling milieu which has been provided by Prime Minister Modi. As I said, it's of course a moment of pride for the whole world, but special moment of glory for India, because one of Mother India's illustrious sons is coming back, having performed a successful voyage and having also conducted the first of its kind experiments in the microgravity conditions in the space, which are going to have which have a great bearing on life, on human habitat, human existence, and which are going to be of benefit and utility not only to India but also for the rest of the world. And therefore, I think this is very much in keeping with the mantra of Vishwa Bandhu.
Shubhanshu Shukla's family over there celebrating, but the entire country is celebrating now. This is not just a celebratory moment. This is also a crucial moment because after this, Shubhanshu will take forward the legacy of India's space mission. And now let's go back to Lucknow, to India Today's Samarth, and try and get an idea of how the atmosphere there was when the splashdown happened. Samarth, if you can hear me, please go ahead. You were speaking to a gentleman over there. Please take your conversation forward.
Well, exactly. I must tell you that the atmosphere out here is quite electrifying. The people, the members especially of Shubhanshu family are quite emotional with this particular movement. I have been joined by Ashish Dikshit, brother of Shubhanshu Shukla. Ashish ji, warm welcome to you on India Today TV. My first straight question to you, how's the Josh after the touchdown?
Hi, sir. So this is the Josh, and it's very thrilling. It was for him. It is like a adventurous ride he has made. He said na kamal ki ride thi. So I think he has made proud. He has brought laurels to the nation. And through your channel, I would like to congratulate each and every viewers of yours, as well as 140 crore Indians who are watching this historic moment. This date will be engraved in golden letters across the world. And this is not the first flight. This is not the first flight. This is going to be the first flight of the many flights. And in future, the way, Group Captain Shubhanshu Shukla will lead this mission for Gaganyaan mission, I think, he will take all the other 3 astronauts to the space and he will, create a new height of Indian space research program.
I saw tears in your eyes when the touchdown was happening. Not just you, even Shuchi, sister of Shubhanshu, and mother, father, all were crying. What was that moment? Can you please explain?
So you have always seen your real ones always attached to you, and they always concern about your well-being. And this is like daredevil game. Temperature is going to be around 1600 degrees centigrade, which is a small mistake can ruin not only all their lives and the hopes of all Indians. So that was very, very concerning for us, and we were not trying to cry. That was coming outside. It's emotional, things were coming out instantly. But those were the happiness moments, not like we were crying for something. So
tears of joy, right?
Tears of joy, absolutely right, Samarth. Yeah.
So do you see that Shubhanshu has now become an inspiration for billions from here on?
Yes, even I was, seeing, a statement of Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath ji. He was saying that we'll create, universities who will, increase the awareness about this. This space research program, and nowadays if you see, many universities have started offering into space research programs, whether it is in a graduation or into PG. And I think the new age, the new era people who are coming into study, they have explored that this is one of the best explored outside of this regular studies. So it's, yes, definitely he has created an awareness, and he will.
You were standing there. Was there any fear when the parachute was launched and the touchdown was about to happen, or when it entered the Earth's atmospheric area?
Yes, so as we have shown that initial up to 10-kilometer level, the speed was same, 27,000. And when it was some 10 kilometer below, the initial two parachute will have the great responsibility to slow down speed from 27,000 to some 900 kilometer per hour. And after that, those parachute get burned out, and the final parachute who really got an responsibility of holding that capsule, that was 4 parachutes. And when they came out at the height of 4 kilometer, we were confirmed that, because opening of second parachute is also very important. And when they came out, and they were slow down speed from 900 to 20 kilometer per hour, so it was easy to get into the water.
You have a lot of knowledge, I can clearly see from the conversation we had yesterday and today. You have studied anything about space?
So I must tell you that what Shubhanshu Shukla is living his life, actually it was my dream, and he is living my dream.
Okay.
And it was a time when he filled the NDA form. Parents were very hesitant to put him into the NDA, but I holded them. I told them that this is not a profession where everyone has to fight. It can be taken as a career. And that's why, mere Mausi Mausaji, said that you are the only person who, we trusted and sent him to. Maine kaha, dekho, now where he is standing.
Okay, my final question to you. Explain the moment when the Indian flags were waving around, patriotic songs happening around in school. What was the feeling right there?
See, I must say that we all the people who love their country, like anything, and we have recently seen the Operation Sindoor and everything. And this moment has also come. So it was like we were fighting for something. We were fighting for India. We were fighting for India to, create a, niche into space industry. And we were very happy that has been made and created by Shubhanshu. So that was the moment.
Congratulations to you and all the very best. Ashish Dikshit ji, brother of Shubhanshu Shukla, with having tears in his eyes and clearly saying the patriotic feeling, the goosebumps, and also it was his dream also to do studies about the space, and that's why he had a lot of knowledge about the kilometers, about the range, about the atmospheric sphere, and that's what he told us about the entire feeling of the family of Shukla family when the touchdown happened. Back to you.
Right, Samad, thank you so much for bringing in that atmosphere and those feelings of Shubhanshu Shukla's brother. It seems that the space dream ran in the family. But now joining us is Radha Krishna Shukla. He is Shubhanshu's uncle. Thank you very much, Mr. Shukla, for speaking with us. We know what we went through as a country when he splashed down and the emotions that we went through. But you, as the family, what did you go through now that Shubhanshu has landed? What's going through your mind?
बहुत खुशी लग रही है, बहुत खुशी लग रही है। हमारा भतीजा है, बहुत खुशी लग रही है कि आज दिवाली तना मनाया जा रहा है। सब बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है हमारे लिए कि हम साथ रहे, साथ खेले, 12-13 साल साथ रहे। अब बात होती है फ़ोन पे, तब भी बहुत बढ़िया अच्छा बताता है कि भैया पापा चाचा आ रहे हैं। बहुत अच्छा लगा हमें। यही सब खुशी है हमारे सब पूरे परिवार की खुशी है। सब पूरा परिवार हमारा खुश है कि हमारा एक लड़का निकला तो घर में इतना बढ़िया हर चीज़ मेंटेन करके निकला। देश के लिए बहुत बड़ी गौरव है। यही हमारी सभी वो है।
जी शुक्ला साहब, अब शुभांशु धरती पर वापस आ गए हैं तो उम्मीद है कि वो घर पे लोगों से भी मिल पाएंगे। तो आपको क्या लग रहा है, आप कब तक मिल पाएंगे उनसे?
अरे जितनी जल्दी आ जाए तो खुशी है, बहुत बड़ी खुशी है कि जितनी जल्दी हमारा भतीजा आ जाए हम बहुत खुश हैं। बहुत, यही तो हमारी सब इच्छाएं हैं हमारी।
बिल्कुल, जाहिर तौर पर आप चाह रहे होंगे कि जल्द से जल्द वो घर आएं, अपने परिवार से मिले। आप शुभांशु के साथ कितना वक्त बिता चुके हैं? पहले आप कह रहे थे कि आप साथ में खेले, आप लोग साथ में कई चीज़ें की, तो कितना वक्त आप लोगों ने साथ गुजारा है?
13-14 साल साथ रहे और 2000 में चला गया था वो बेचारा। तो मुलाकात तो होती रहती है, मुलाकात जब घर में है आता रहता है तो मुलाकात तो सब होती ही है, बातचीत होती है, फ़ोन पे बातचीत सब होती है, सब चीज़ सब सब चीज़ करता है, ऐसा नहीं।
ये बात तो सही है कि जब एनडीए में चले जाते हैं तब तो बच्चे ही होते हैं, लेकिन 17 साल 18 साल की उम्र में चले जाते हैं। लेकिन एक चाचा भतीजा का जो रिश्ता होता है वो एक दोस्त की तरह भी होता है। तो कोई ऐसी यादें हैं जो आप हमारे साथ साझा करना चाहेंगे जो शुभांशु से जुड़ी हो?
हाँ, अरे दोस्ती वाला रिश्ता बहुत बड़ा। हम लोग खूब खेलते थे, वो हमको मारते, हम उनको खूब झगड़ा करते थे, कोई उसमें नहीं रोक टोक नहीं। हम खूब अच्छे थे, अच्छे तरह से खूब टीवी देखते थे रात में 12-1 बजे टीवी हम लोग दोनों लोग देखते थे। और 2 बच्चे थे, उनकी लड़कियां थी, वो भी खूब कभी कभी जब रहता है एंटीना तो वो हो जाता था, तब हम ऊपर जाते थे तो उससे सीटी बजा के बताते थे कि आया कि नहीं आया। तो वो जुत्ते से वो भी कहता था आया चाचा आया। तो खूब देखते थे 12-1 बजे रात तक का। पढ़ाई भी करते थे, ऐसा नहीं, पढ़ाई भी हम भी करते थे, वो भी करता था। वही यादें आती हैं कि देखो कहाँ से कहाँ पहुँच गया, बहुत बड़ा।
तो चलिए, टीवी का सिग्नल आया ना आया हो, लेकिन आपका भतीजा वापस आ गया है। तो आपके लिए अब उनका घर वापस आना, ये कितना भावुक वक्त है?
अरे बहुत मोमेंट है, इसके लिए बहुत बड़ा खुशी है, बहुत देश की खुशी है, हमारी खुशी है, सब खुशी, बहुत बड़ी खुशी है इसके लिए बहुत।
क्या आपको लगता है शुभांशु अब करोड़ों लोगों के लिए एक इंस्पिरेशन बन चुके हैं?
अरे बहुत देश के लिए बहुत प्रेरणा बन गए, नाम जो पूरा देश नाम ले रहा है, यही ये खुशी बहुत बड़ी है। यहाँ तो मोहल्ले में एक दूसरे को नहीं जानता है, वो तो देश के लिए इतनी बड़ी खुशी है, बहुत बड़ी खुशी है।
शुक्रिया शुक्ला जी हमसे बात करने के लिए। आप सबको बधाई, आपके परिवार को बधाई, और उम्मीद करते हैं कि शुभांशु से जल्दी आप लोगों की मुलाकात हो। शुक्रिया। So a proud moment there for the family and they're expressing it. But after completing the space voyage, India's pride, Shubhanshu Shukla, will undergo a 7-day rehabilitation program. This will give Shuks and his crew time to regain the muscle strength they may have lost after staying in zero gravity for an extended period of time. You take a look at this report. We are going to bid you goodbye and see you after the break.
Even after 18 days in space, even after a 25.5-hour journey back to Earth, for Group Captain Shubhanshu Shukla, the mission doesn't end with splashdown. Like all astronauts, Shubhanshu and his 3 other crew members will spend 7 days in rehabilitation. Astronauts need rehabilitation post-splashdown because space flight causes major changes in their body, mainly due to lack of gravity. They need to undergo therapy for atrophy to help regain muscle strength and bone density. They also undergo cardiovascular deconditioning therapy to recover from their cardiovascular functions. They receive treatment for vestibular system changes to readjust their balance and coordination. They go through psychological adjustment as well to readjust to Earth's sensory-rich environment and social routines, which can be overwhelming to return to. Rehabilitation often includes physical and psychological support, as well as counseling to help astronauts adapt mentally, emotionally, and physically.
Brace for drogue window.
Other astronauts like Sunita Williams also went through a 45-day NASA rehabilitation program to recover from their 9-month space expedition.
Other than Sunny Williams.
The duration of rehabilitation varies depending on the length of the expedition. But as he's done with everything else on his space sojourn so far, we are certain Shuks will pass this test as well with flying colours. Bureau Report, India Today.
Big news coming in. This is possibly a big relief for the Kerala origin nurse on the death row. Remember Nimisha Priya? There was an execution that she was set to face by 16th of July. And from what I gather now, in the case of Nimisha Priya, and I'm quoting from what the sources are telling us, it has been learnt that local authorities in Yemen have postponed the execution that was scheduled for 16 July. Now, we do not know if this is an indefinite postponement that has happened, but the government of India, which has, and I'm quoting from our sources, the GOI, which has since been at the beginning of the case, been rendering all possible assistance in the matter, has made concerted efforts in recent days to seek more time for the family to at least reach a mutually agreeable solution with the other party. Remember, whether it's the government or the activists who've been fighting in this case have tried all possible options to be able to delay her execution. Despite the sensitivities involved, Indian officials have been in regular touch with the local authorities and securing this postponement. This is a huge development, ladies and gentlemen, because till now it appeared, even the GOI had one point said that beyond a point we are unable to do anything because we are not getting a response from Yemen authorities. Have the authorities at least been able to give a few more days in the case of Nimisha Priya? Nimisha Priya was a nurse from Kerala. She was employed with this individual in Yemen, and then even though there was this incident that appeared that she had taken an extreme step because she was being allegedly abused, she didn't get her passport back when she wanted it. Eventually, the step that she took led to the loss of life of the employer. Shibimol KG joins me for the latest on this. This is a big breaking news that's coming in. It was barely 24 hours to go, Shibimol, and this postponement means a huge deal. What are the reactions that you're getting on it? What happened in this last-ditch effort?
Well, Pooja, as per the Action Council team, since today morning there have been a meeting going on, closed-door meeting going on with the embassy official, with the Action Council team, and also with some of the members of the victim, is what we're understanding. They're not ready to reveal who was exactly the family member who was participating in the meeting, but an hour ago when I spoke to the Action Council team, they said that, wait for some more time. There's something coming up. There's something positive is what they said. And we were expecting something positive. That's what we're getting to know. As per the Action Council team, the execution that was scheduled for tomorrow has been put on hold. It's been postponed. It's not terminated yet. It's put on hold. It is postponed is what we're understanding. But still, very, very positive news, because there's been a lot of efforts going on since the last many years. The Action Council team, her mother camping in Yemen and, putting in all the effort, her husband back in Kerala, meeting everybody possible, Kerala governor had intervened in the issue.
With me, I'm getting the first reaction. Remember the charges against her are of murder in 2017, but that murder also has a certain context of the allegations of abuse she faced, restrictions she faced, and that led her to take that step. I'm joined by BJP's Tom Wadakan, who also hails from the state of Kerala. Mr. Tom Wadakan, how should one see this moment? Because it did appear barely 48 hours ago that there's nothing more that India can do.
Well, the highest court of the land almost washed their hands on it. And here's the government of India proactively helping out a helpless prisoner. Now it's been postponed. It will be, there is this issue of blood money. And that matter, there is crowdfunding on that. So things are looking positive, and the government of India is moving. The MEA is moving into it. So I think you will see results, and I believe the lady will be safe back in India.
Is it really that difficult when it comes to Yemen compared to other countries, that whether it's our bilateral outreach or peoples to people connect, nothing seemed to be working all these years, even though fortunately now we at least have a few more days with this postponement.
Certainly, this is very positive news for people of Kerala, and especially people who are connected with her family members. And this will ensure that who go down to Yemen are more careful of the regulations, the Sharia laws, and what have you. So it is. I think it's a landmark achievement which the government of India has achieved by at least postponing the whole thing, and so that the negotiation can follow. And I'm sure with the MEA and Modiji's direct intervention, this issue will be sorted out. And I think.
But Mr. Vadakan, like from what you're mentioning, can I take on from that? I hope this woman is saved, but I also understand that there's a bigger issue here of passports being seized, of some of these employees literally becoming slaves to their employers in some of these nations.
Yes, that is one of the factors, that they take the passport of the person who's working there to ensure that the person doesn't leave. So these are practices which I think the embassies need to act proactively, and if there's a complaint, these issues must be looked into. By no law, nationally or internationally, can anybody's passport be seized. It's absolutely illegal. So it is important that MEA intervenes, the embassies concerned are activated to make these employers understand that this is not part of an international practice, especially when you're a citizen of India. Our passports are important, not because it's an Indian passport, but the passport holds the authority of Indian government, and the Indian government will not compromise on this issue.
All right, appreciate you joining us, Tom Vadakan. I want to go back to Shubhanshu KG on that. Shubhanshu, do we have a date yet? Till when is it postponed, or is it just a matter of few days and then the decision would be taken on this?
Well, we don't have the exact date as to when this execution has been postponed to, but the discussions are ongoing, is what we're understanding. Like we all know that the main factor was the blood money. If the family is ready to accept the blood money, then her execution will be terminated. But as for the family is concerned, also what we're understanding from the Action Council is that there are restrictions for them also, because in their particular community, it's not feasible to accept something like a blood money. So that definitely is a concern as far as the family is concerned. But like I pointed out, it's a positive news that's coming out. In fact, the Grand Mufti of India, Abu Bakr Musliar, are also intervened in the last few days. He had spoken to his Yemen counterpart in a last-minute push to save Nimisha Priya, is what we're understanding. So all those efforts finally coming, bearing fruit, is what we know. The family, when we spoke to the family members yesterday and the last few days, they all seemed really frustrated. She has a daughter, who is not yet aware of the fact that her mother has been,
this is good news coming in, some relief. And we'll be tracking further on what exactly will be the conclusion of it. I want to now bring you to the ones who paid it with their life. Om Prakash Avadhya is joining me. He's the father of Anish Avadhya, one of the deceased among the two. Om Prakash ji, जब आप ये सुनते हैं कि वो जुवेनाइल की तरह ही ट्रायल होगा इसका, किस तरह से आपकी फाइट जो रही है, आप इस मोमेंट को कैसे देखते हैं? क्या आप मानते हैं कि ये कानून है या ये एज एन अडल्ट ट्राई होना चाहिए था?
मैम, मैं तो सबसे पहले सभी को नमस्कार करता हूं और अपनी सहानुभूति देते हैं जो मेरा सहयोग किया है आप लोगों ने।
जी सर।
हेलो, आवाज आ रही?
जी सर, बिल्कुल हम आपके साथ हैं, ये याद रखें, क्योंकि परिवार किस तरह से सफर करता है ये समझना भी जरूरी है व्यूअर्स के लिए। बताएं सर।
मैम, हम लोग तो पूरी तरह टूट ही चुके हैं, उसके लिए कोई बात ही नहीं, लेकिन अब हम ये जानना चाह रहे हैं कि हर जगह हमें दिखाया गया था, सोशल मीडिया जहाँ से हमें बात हुई है, तो ये समझ में आ रहा था कि इसके ऊपर एडल्ट ही केस चलेगा, वालिद का ही केस चलेगा, हमें समझ में आ रहा था। आज तक हम लोगों ने इंतजार भी किया इसी चीज का।
और आपको लग रहा था कि जी कि ये हो जाएगा, कि एक तरह से। हाँ
नहीं 100%, क्योंकि पूरी पब्लिक या सभी का समर्थन हम लोग साथ था, सब कोई न्याय मांग रहा था, तो हमें यही लग रहा था उसके ऊपर बालिग का केस चलेगा। क्योंकि मैम उसके पास लाखों रुपए का वॉलेट भी था पेमेंट करने के लिए, लाखों की मतलब 70-80 हजार शराब पीने के लिए, सबके लिए वो बालिग था। अब जब उसके ऊपर ये इसने ऐसा कृत्य किया, उसके बाद इसको नाबालिग मानना शुरू कर दिया। आप बताइए मैम, ये तो न्याय नहीं है ना। हमारा बच्चा जो गया तो हमारे बच्चों को न्याय कैसे मिलेगा?
ओम प्रकाश जी, 12 महीने हो गए, साल भर से ऊपर हो गया है। किस तरह से आप अपनी लड़ाई लड़ते जा रहे हैं और मान के चल रहे हैं कि जस्टिस होना चाहिए इन केस में? आपके बच्चे जो था वो तो नॉर्मली मोटर बाइक पे सड़क पे था, ड्राइव कर रहे थे और फिर ये हादसा हो जाता है। तो 1 साल ये कैसा रहा आपके परिवार के लिए?
नहीं 1 साल से काफी दुखद भरा रहा। हमारा जितना भी बिजनेस था सब कुछ चौपट हो चुका, मतलब हम लोग कहीं ध्यान नहीं रहते, मतलब हम लोग पूरी तरह टूट चुके हैं। अब ये चाह रहे थे कि कम से कम इसके ऊपर बालिग का केस चले, जैसे निर्भया का केस था कि 16 से 18 साल के अंदर का बच्चा जो होता है, तो उसमें कृत्य ऐसा कृत्य यदि अपराध करता है तो उस पर बालिग का केस चला था निर्भया में। हम भी यही चाह रहे थे, इसमें भी इसने ऐसा किया, 3 लाखों रुपए की वॉलेट रखता था, शराब पी के चलाता था, 3 लाख करोड़ की गाड़ी में चलता था, तो इसके ऊपर भी बालिग का केस चलेगा। हम यही चाहते थे कि बालिग का चले, लेकिन पता नहीं नियम कानून कैसे कहाँ क्या कर रहे हैं कि उसकी वजह से इसके ऊपर बालिग का केस चलना संभव नहीं है शायद।
अब क्या आपको लगता है कि ये नियम कानून है या ये कुछ और है? क्योंकि हमने देखा स्टार्टिंग से ही केस किस तरह से कॉम्प्रोमाइज हुआ जा रहा था।
वो तो मैम देखिए, इसमें तो मेरे को शुरू दिन से ही समझ में आता, दूसरे दिन के बाद ही ये समझ में आया धीरे धीरे प्रगति अच्छा करेगा। लेकिन इसमें क्या है, ढोल मोल मेरे को समझ में आ रहा है। जैसे इसमें गवर्नमेंट की इन्वॉल्वमेंट पहले शुरू दिन थी, विधायक लोगों की इन्वॉल्वमेंट थी, फिर वो सब दूर हो रहे हैं, तो हमें पहले से लग रहा था कि सब ढोल मोल चल रहा है। लेकिन कुछ समय बाद इसकी तो तीव्रता मिली, लेकिन अब हम संपर्क से बाहर है मैम। हमारे किसी से इतना ज्यादा संपर्क है नहीं कि क्या चल रहा कैसा, क्या थोड़ा संपर्क से बाहर है।
आज देश आपको सुन रहा है, जुवेनाइल जस्टिस बोर्ड आपको सुन रहा है, सरकारें आपको सुन रही हैं। क्या कहेंगे अनीश अवधिया के जो पिता है ओम प्रकाश जी, जब ये सुनते हैं कि उसको एज अ बच्चा, एज अ चाइल्ड इन कॉन्फ्लिक्ट विद लॉ, उसको जुवेनाइल की तरह ही ट्रायल होगा?
नहीं मैम, सब थोड़े दुख की बात है कि अब नियम कानून तो बनना चाहिए। हम तो इसी आस में रहे हैं कि नियम कानून ऐसे ही बनेगा कि उसके ऊपर बालिग का केस चलेगा। हम ये चाह रहे थे कि बालिग का केस चले। हम नहीं, सभी लोग, जितने लोगों ने सुना, सभी लोगों ने यही चाह रहे थे कि उसमें बालिग का केस चले। अब ये जे बोर्ड ने कब नियम कानून कैसे तहत उसने करा है हमें कुछ पता नहीं है। जे बोर्ड का भी आप देखी थी, जे बोर्ड के भी 2 लोगों के ऊपर कुछ इन्वेस्टिगेशन वगैरह हुआ है। अब हमें तो विश्वास ही नहीं है मैम, क्या बताएं इसके लिए, हम कुछ विश्वास ही नहीं हो रहा कि ये हो सकता है। हम तो चाह रहे थे कि बालिग का केस
अभी भी ओम प्रकाश जी अपनी लड़ाई में उम्मीद रखते हैं, और उम्मीद कैसे रखते हैं, कैसे आप अपने आप को बांध के रखते हैं?
अब मैम हम तो ये चाहते हैं कि सब कोई को मिल करके इसमें समर्थन देना चाहिए हम लोग के लिए, कि जो इसमें नियम कानून बनाया जाए, उसमें बालिग का जो ऐसा कृत्य करेगा बच्चा, उसके लिए बालिग का केस चलाइए। हम ये चाहते हैं। ये चीज जो पार्लियामेंट या जहाँ लोकसभा जहाँ भी होता है, इसमें सब पारित करके इसे कानून बना करके इसमें हमें और हमारे बच्चों को न्याय देना चाहिए।
मैं अगर आपसे पूछ पाऊं ओम प्रकाश जी, थोड़ा हमको अपने बेटे के बारे में जरूर बताएं, अनीश अवधिया के बारे में। किस तरह के बेटे रहे थे? वो बहुत उम्मीद होती है एक पिता को बेटे से, और फिर ये हादसा ऐसा हो जाता है।
उम्मीद तो आप हम कुछ नहीं बोल सकते मैम। सबसे बड़ी दिक्कत क्या, सब कुछ हमारा बच्चा था, इतना होनहार था, दुनिया देखी उसको, एकदम पढ़ लिख करके इंजीनियर बना, दुबई, सब कुछ हुआ मैम। हमें नहीं, हमारे पूरे फैमिली के लिए वो जो एक मतलब एक सहारा था, सहारा से बढ़ के सबको जो है वो दिखाना, मतलब सबसे बड़ा बच्चा हमारे परिवार में, सबसे बड़ा बच्चा था, हमारी पीढ़ी में सबसे बड़ा बच्चा था, और जिसके राय पे और 4-6 बच्चे जो है उसी के राय पे चलते मैम। लेकिन अब क्या कहें, कुदरत जो भी कहा जाए, इन्होंने किस कदर हमें तोड़ा है, हमारे बच्चे को जिस तरह से वो किया, अब उसके लिए हम कुछ नहीं कर सकते मैम। क्या बोले मैम, हम सिर्फ ये चाहते हैं हमारे बच्चे को न्याय मिले। वो बच्चा आज होता तो हमारा कहाँ का कहाँ होता, आज वो फॉरेन निकल गया होता, 1 महीने की देरी थी, 1 महीने बाद ये फॉरेन लंदन चला गया होता मैम। सब कुछ कंप्लीट था। हमारे साथ दुख की बात यह है कि अब हम लोग तो पूरी तरह से डेड हो चुके हैं मैम, अब कुछ कहने की स्थिति में नहीं है।
क्या आप मानते हैं शायद जी कि जुवेनाइल में अगर ट्राई हो तो उससे भी कुछ न्याय मिल पाएगा आपको, या आपको लगता है उससे तो जल्दी छूट जाएगा
वो तो अब है ही है मैम। अब क्या दबाव है, गवर्नमेंट का क्या दबाव है, कुछ कह नहीं सकते, लेकिन अब तकलीफ तो है मैम। अब हम तो चाहते हैं छोड़ ही दे उनको, क्यों न्याय की आस तो हम कर नहीं पा रहे हैं। अब कैसे आस करेंगे मैम, जब उसमें जुवेनाइल का ही चलेगा, कैसे आस करेंगे कि उसको होना है, बताइए आप। इतना मेरे को लगता है इतना दबाव है, अब जो गवर्नमेंट का कहें जिसका बहुत दबाव है मैम, इस चक्कर में पूरा केस जो है पूरी तरह से वो कर दिया इन्होंने।
ओम प्रकाश जी, आप याद रखें हम आपके साथ हैं। मैं समझ सकती हूँ किस तरह से पूरा परिवार टूट जाता है, लेकिन क्योंकि अभी कानून है और किस तरह से ये फैसला लिया गया हम इसको और एक्सप्लोर करेंगे। आप अपना ध्यान रखें अपने परिवार का। आपने हमसे बात की, अपना पक्ष रखा, थैंक यू वेरी मच। सो you heard the father. He broke into tears. It's been a year. He cannot still get over the fact that his young son, an adult son, simply going about living his life, going on to the next phase of his life, was killed because a 17-year-old could afford lakhs of rupees to get intoxicated in what we can see from the visuals, allegedly as he was drunk, and then he could drive a luxury Porsche vehicle because his parents believed that he could, even though he was not eligible. He was still underage. He could carry out all of that, lead to the loss of life of two people. Had he not been caught by the bystanders, by people on the ground, he could have just got away for a while. We saw how even the investigation, the tests were compromised at every level. You listen to a father who's breaking into tears, thinking about the future he could have had with his son. All of that is gone. Should he have been tried as an adult, or is this law? Is this part of law that because he's still underage, he will be tried as a juvenile? We've put forth both the views of the accused lawyer and of the family as well. Omkar, this has been a difficult case because it has in many ways exposed the loopholes that the rich with power and money can have and get away. And what is left is a family destroyed forever of the victim. What is the reasoning being given that he should be tried as a juvenile despite the crime that happened?
Exactly, Pooja. We can completely understand the emotions of victim's family, as his father recently said that agar hum kare to kare kya. But we have to understand the side of a court, how court has cited the Juvenile Justice Gazette of Central Government of India. So the main issue is, and that's how the court is claiming now, because when this accident took place on 19th of May, that time the accused was 17 years, 18 months old. And that is why the plea filed by Pune police is rejected by this court. So, and that is how, in henceforth and upcoming time, when this whole matter will go ahead in the court and debates will happen. So that time he will be treated as a minor. So court has foregrounded this line. When this accident took place, the minor was 17 years old, 17 years, 8 months old, and that is why we cannot treat him as an adult. So this is a foregrounded line by this court.
And we're now getting some breaking news from the state of Kerala. Setback for Kerala governor in Vice Chancellor appointment. Kerala High Court bench has rejected governor's plea. The High Court has said that the governor erred in naming temporary vice chancellors. Earlier, single judge stopped governor's VC naming move, and now there's a setback in the High Court as well. The Kerala High Court bench has rejected the governor's plea, saying that the governor erred in naming the temporary vice chancellors. So setback for Kerala governor, as Kerala High Court has rejected the governor's appeal in appointments of temporary vice chancellors. The High Court division bench has rejected the governor's appeal, challenging a single bench verdict that had declared the temporary appointment of vice chancellors. And my colleague Shubhanshu is now joining us with more details on this. Shubhanshu, give us more details. There's a setback for Kerala governor by the Kerala High Court. Give us more details about what the Kerala High Court has said, and also about the petition of the governor.
Anjali, this is regarding the two appointments that the governor, who is also the Chancellor of Universities, made. Now, these two universities are Digital University and APJ Abdul Kalam Technological University. So, the governor, who's the Chancellor of Universities, had made two appointments as temporary VC. Now, that is what earlier an order of the earlier a bench of the High Court had rejected the governor's plea, because the state government had approached the High Court saying that the appointment was not made in consideration with the government. Now, as per law, as per the university law, whatever appointment, whether in the case of the temporary VCs, it should be made in consideration with the government. The consideration of the government was not done in these two particular cases. And initially, a bench of the High Court had rejected the governor's plea, saying that later, the governor had approached the High Court and the case was taken up before a division bench. Now, the same has happened again. The High Court division bench has also rejected the governor's appeal, challenging the single bench verdict that earlier declared the two appointments, saying that it is not sustainable in law. So the main issue is that both these appointments should have been made in consultation with the government, which was not done. Earlier, the Kerala High Court had rejected the governor's plea, saying that the appointments are not in coordination, so it's not sustainable under law. Again, when the governor challenged that particular single bench order before the division bench has also again, rejected the governor's plea. Now, this is definitely setback for the governor, because the governor and the government there's been a conflict going on between the governor and the government for a long time. Where the government has been alleging that the government was trying to saffronize the universities by making appointments on its own without the consultation of the government. So that's why we say that it's a setback for the governor and a victory for the government.
All right, Shubhanshu, thank you so much for all those details and for that context. I'm sure there's a mixture of emotions, relief, happiness, but also I'm sure that they'll miss being at the International Space Station and the spectacular views. But the good news for Group Captain Shukla is that he's headed back there with mission Gaganyaan, which is expected in 2027. That's when he will be headed back to space. And the knowledge that he's had from this experience, invaluable essentially to what we're going to see in the coming months in the preparations by ISRO for our own such mission Gaganyaan. But this is the moment there, and these pictures will be etched in our minds for a long, long time. Let's begin with a news break coming in as superstar Rajinikanth seems to be attempting to amend ties with the DMK leadership. Veterans who were miffed with Rajinikanth over jibes that were fired months ago. Now it seems Rajinikanth is attempting to make amends. He's clarified on a remark that he'd made where essentially he had mocked a veteran leader like Durai Murugan when he's referred to them as old students, saying that they have no place now in the party. They will be having to move aside for young leadership. Now Rajinikanth, however, says old students have experience. They need to step in. And so Rajinikanth concedes that what he said earlier was a mistake. He says, I've told myself not to make such mistakes. After Rajinikanth's comment, Durai Murugan, the DMK veteran leader who was miffed after what Rajinikanth had said last time, has spoken out saying he accepts what Rajinikanth has said this time. Essentially meaning that now between Rajinikanth and the DMK leadership, all is well.
அது ரொம்ப கஷ்டம். அதெல்லாம் அது ஸ்கூல் விட்டு கிளாஸ் விட்டு போக மாட்டாங்க அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு அதுக்கப்புறம் நான் சொன்னது இது பண்ணியிருந்தேன். நான் அப்படி இருந்தால் கூட ஓல்டுன்னு சொன்ன அந்த எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸு ஓல்டு பீப்புள் அவங்கெல்லாம் தூண்கள், அவங்கெல்லாம் ஃபவுண்டேஷன். அந்த மாதிரி எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ் ஓல்டு திஸ்டிங் இல்லைன்னு சொன்னால் எந்த இயக்கமும் எந்த பார்ட்டியும் அவ்வளோ திஸ்டிங் தேராது. அது தூண்கள் மட்டும் இல்லை, சிகரம் கூட. அந்த மாதிரி சொல்லணும்னு சொல்லி இது பண்ணிட்டு அந்த எல்லா சிரிப்பு இதில் அதை மறந்துட்டேன். என்னடா இது. ஸோ இப்போ வரும்போது மிஸ்டர் ரஜினிகாந்த் எல்லாம் பாரு, இந்த மாதிரி எதுவும் மிஸ்டேக் பண்ணிடாத.
அது என்னன்னு சொன்னாரு, இதை பார்த்தேன், அவருக்கு நான் ஃபோன் பண்ணி பேசுறேன். ரொம்ப தேங்க்ஸ் சார், இப்போ மறக்காம பேசியிருக்கீங்களே.
Pramod Madhav is joining us live from Chennai with more details on this. Pramod, on one hand, you had Rajinikanth conceding that what he said earlier wasn't correct and now making, amends to what he said earlier. Durai Murugan laughingly saying, I'm glad you remembered this time. The messaging seems to be Rajinikanth trying to get the veterans in the DMK again on his side, being happy with him.
Well, Akshita, one thing we can quite possibly say that only, imagine Rajinikanth going and giving this kind of a statement only shows what kind of pillar or peak Durai Murugan, a senior party leader, holding a very important position in DMK and also a senior minister from the government of Tamil Nadu is. Because last year, where Rajinikanth pointed out on Durai Murugan and said that it's Durai Murugan easily evades anybody, even Kalaignar, and he also claimed that it is very hard to actually judge what kind of emotion Durai Murugan is holding, and he claimed that old students are really difficult to handle, and he kind of like equated that with senior ministers and Stalin. That turned out to be a huge issue. We never thought Duraimurugan would come forward and claim that this is the same thing that is happening in cinema as well, as old actors are not like leaving the retiring. That is turning out the youngsters are not getting any chance. So that turned out to be a huge issue. But right now, almost a year after that, Rajinikanth has said what he wanted to say without forgetting, and Duraimurugan has accepted it, Akshita.
Interesting developments this. When it happened, I remember everyone saying that this is just two leaders essentially mocking and poking fun at each other, two very good friends doing it. But clearly it had turned rather ugly and sour, which is why now you're seeing all of these reactions and Rajinikanth attempting to make amends. Thanks very much, Pramod, for those details. Let's cut across to more breaking news coming in. You heard from Pawan Kalyan, the Andhra Pradesh Deputy Chief Minister, yesterday when he called for Hindi to be a unifier language. Now Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu has also waded into the language row, where he also has essentially questioned all those Hindi baiters, saying, I've heard many people ask, why should we learn Hindi? And then he refers to the example of former Prime Minister P.V. Narasimha Rao, who was known to have a great fondness for languages, who knew 17 languages. That's what Chief Minister Naidu refers to, essentially making a pitch for people to learn all languages, including Hindi. Listen in to the Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister.
P.V. Narasimha Rao garu, I had a very good equation, because we are all one state, from Telugu state at that time. I had a very good equation with him. He was a student leader, a freedom fighter, a scholar fluent in 17 languages. Now we are all talking, why should we learn Hindi? Not only he learned Hindi, he has learned 17 languages. That is how he has become a great man.
And like I said, this comment from the Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister comes right after his deputy Pawan Kalyan had strongly defended Hindi and had referred to it as the Peddamma of languages, mother tongue and Peddamma, which means elder aunt. So he suggested that Hindi is the unifier.
మనం మాట్లాడే తెలుగు, తమిళ్, కన్నడ, మలయాళం, వారిస, వడియా ఏ భాషలైనా కావచ్చు, మన మాతృభాష. కానీ రాష్ట్ర భాష మటుకు హిందీ. మనం ఇంట్లో మాట్లాడుకోవడానికి మాతృభాష ఉంది, కానీ మన ఇంటి సరిహద్దులు దాటితే మనకి రాజభాష హిందీ ఉంది. ప్రపంచం మొత్తం విడిపోవడానికి కారణాలు వెతుక్కుంటూ ఉంది, కానీ మన దేశం మొత్తం ఈ రోజున కలవడానికి, ఏకం కావడానికి ఈ రోజున మన రాష్ట్ర భాషని వెతుక్కుంటుంది, అది హిందీ అయ్యాలి. నేను అలాంటి రాష్ట్ర భాష హిందీని నేను స్వాగతిస్తున్నాను.
So clearly the language debate only raging on. It's almost become an interstate war in the south now over Hindi. Let's move on to our top focus here on Super 6, and that's what's playing out in Karnataka between the Siddaramaiah government and the central government. A controversy is broken out over a bridge unveiling. This happened in Shivamogga district of Karnataka yesterday. The Sigandur Bridge in Karnataka, a huge marvel, a development marvel essentially in Karnataka, but unfortunately mired in politics, because Chief Minister Siddaramaiah claims that he was ignored by the centre. He wasn't invited. He's even shot off a letter to Prime Minister Modi complaining, saying he was insulted and ignored. But the BJP says that this is essentially a mountain being made out of a molehill, that there's no controversy whatsoever. Here are the details first in our report with the reactions.
A bridge in Karnataka, Shivamogga, has become a bone of contention between state government and the centre. Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah has written to Prime Minister Narendra Modi that inauguration of 9 national highway projects with an investment of over 2,000 crore rupees, including the bridge, were done in his absence. Siddaramaiah in his letter pointed out that despite his prior request to Union Minister Nitin Gadkari, the event was not postponed, and asked Prime Minister to advise the ministers to refrain from discordant acts. Chief Minister has called the move a serious breach of protocol, calling the centre's conduct arbitrary and against the spirit of cooperative federalism. The Chief Minister has formally launched the state's protest, urging the Prime Minister to direct central ministries to avoid such actions in future.
ಟಿಕೆಟ್ ಅದು ಕರಿಬೇಕಲ್ವ ಅವರು ಟಿಕೆಟ್ ಪ್ರಾರಂಭ ಮಾಡಿರೋರು ಯಾರು ಟಿಕೆಟ್ ಮಾಡೋ ಪ್ರಾರಂಭ ಮಾಡಿರೋರು ಅವರೇನೆ ಶಿಷ್ಟಾಚಾರ ಪಾಲನೆ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಲ್ವಾ ನಮ್ಮ ರಾಜ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ನಡೀತಾ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಒಕ್ಕೂಟದ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆನಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಒಕ್ಕೂಟದ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆನಲ್ಲಿರುವಾಗ ಈಗ ಅನೇಕ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಗಳು ಅವ್ರು ನಾವೇ 75% ಕೊಟ್ಟರು ಕೂಡ ನಾವೇ 75% ಕೊಟ್ಟರು ಅವ್ರು ಕರೆದೇ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ನಾವು.
Meanwhile, BJP has returned fire with party MP Basavaraj Bommai, alleging that no state ministers informed him when they came to his constituency. He also accused the state government of not inviting MPs to key events in the state hosted by the state government.
CM, if at all, is writing to Prime Minister on protocol, I think he is looking everything through political lens. Under his captainship, all this kind of breach of protocol is going on, and he is making this issue, even though Gadkari has written 2 letters to him requesting to come and make time. He should have gracefully, if it had gone. However, the development, he cries in one hand that there is no development. And when such a big project is there, not for foundation, for inauguration, he doesn't come. That means he doesn't want to be the part of the development done by the government of India.
Meanwhile, this current row has pushed the Congress's internal tussle to the background and given the Chief Minister and the Deputy Chief Minister a breather and a brief moment to appear united. Bureau Report, India Today.
So you've got two versions essentially that's playing out, where the central government is saying we did invite the Chief Minister, and Chief Minister Siddaramaiah saying there was no invite. There was a clear messaging being sent across to the state government, and that's why we decided to boycott the entire event. Let me bring in on this broadcast Lavanya Balal, spokesperson of the Congress, Ashok Gowda, spokesperson of the Karnataka BJP. Both are with me on this broadcast. Namaskara to both of you. Lavanya Balal, I'd like to begin with you first. 2 letters that I'm going to read out for you first. One letter from 11th July. This is from Nitin Gadkari, in which he's written to Siddaramaiah saying, I request you to kindly grace the occasion and preside over the program. This is on July 11th. Then July 12th, a second letter is saying, in case attending in person is not possible, we would be honored if you could join us through video conferencing. Those 2 letters are on our screens as well. So looking at this right now, Lavanya, why is Chief Minister Siddaramaiah saying that, protocol was breached, he wasn't invited, he wasn't informed about this?
Good evening, Akshita. It is not a mere formality when a leader is invited. A leader of Siddaramaiah's stature, who is a CM of a state who represents the 7 crore Kannadigas. Let me break it down for you. When Mr. Nitin Gadkari plans a program like this program would have been planned by his office at least a month in advance or at least 3 weeks in advance. When they plan a program of this level, it is customary to coordinate with the Chief Minister's office of that state so that their programs can be coordinated and they are on the same page and they are on the same stage on the same day, same time. On that day, when they invited on the 11th for a program on the 14th, this happened after the invite was circulating on public space. The invite to the Chief Minister's office came after that. And he was not consulted if he has any programs on the 14th. On the 14th, our Chief Minister was launching one of the biggest irrigation projects in India in Karnataka. That is why the Chief Minister could not be there. When the Chief Minister travels, it is not just for inaugurating. There are also multiple other meetings that happen after the inauguration. He had to be there. So that is why he couldn't be present for the virtual inauguration. The question is, who in Gadkariji's office thought it is perfectly fine to bypass the protocols which are in place for the last 75 years? Somebody decided that it can be skipped and 7 crore Kannadigas who are represented by Siddaramaiah can be insulted.